majority of football loving fans are expecting this final, including me. And it says how two teams way etimi aba do this stage. The first thing I may say, me ball my basso. Because over PSG bobo na ye share UEFA Champions League na say e wo league phase. Na nyoma nko ye emfa momo. Omo tonso 15th e wo league phase no. And because of our performance from the league phase no, enkofo antagi PSG so metime this level. By knockout stage and a PSG for improve ye. Omo ball ne sha se esesa. Enti yenya PSG a knockout phase no, oyi Bresto a efrim. Yenya PSG a eliminate Liverpool na ye tag omo se omo ye favorite. Omo yi Aston Villa efrim, omo yi Arsenal efrim. PSG a perform very well and omo do this stage a. Luis Enrique and the boys no e deserve our credit no. The same thing applies to Inter Milan. Ye share league phase na se no o petim ba kwa for match day 1. Ebesi ene what perform very well e UEFA Champions League na Inter eka ho bi. Because from the league phase omo to so fourth e league phase no. Omo ba knockout stage eliminate Feyenoord. Omo be yi Bayern efrimu and omo yi Barcelona efrimu. Enti se wa check Inter Milan for Jenny na so far omo fe bali ato a Inter for so e deserve our credit no. Enti the first thing two teams no me ball my basso. By kid se PSG for timidi trophy na e be change a lot of things for PSG. Oma write a new history on its own e wo PSG bobo kuni. Se oko France the only team a wetimi winning UEFA Champions League e Olympique du Marseille in 1993. For 32 good years nye PSG announce a French club NG UEFA Champions League ni bida. So say ne team a French PSG etimi UEFA Champions League na 32 years a yenya a French club say all dominating UEFA Champions League no PSG for apepa saade no. Ana say oko France PSG for a dominating France omo domestic competition ni nyina. But dia ba ko a PSG entimi ngibi eye UEFA Champions League. Enti omo main rival a oni omo compete with France eye Olympique du Marseille. Anytime bia Olympique du Marseille supporters any omo team no etimi etro PSG for ehuru omo say ma dominate bibia mu discover be rabo boku no ma bibia wo France na Europe na ye important mu ntimi ngeye. So se PSG for timi sa age sa kuruwa na ekwan myself for efa so ehuru PSG no sa de no so apepa. Enti PSG for ne person omo write a new history ne so mutimi di UEFA Champions League. And the target any team a friend say PSG katafo ndi omusika be wrem no mo target ne yesi ye be dominate France. Ye dominate France we are near about Europe aba be the ultimate. So far oma dominate France. French Ligue 1 PSG na dominate ya. Aka de ba ko pe na katafo ne hwehwe. That's the UEFA Champions League. And it's a PSG for it me ya eje ene UEFA Champions League na. Oma write history for themselves. Oma change PSG boboku no and omo je abra omo nyusu top stars. Because na PSG for him say omo betimi discard to players we we ase nyina na omo dominate Europe. By sa players nyina ba PSG no omo ntimi amba mbeje by ene hwe the kind of players omo de akọ UEFA Champions League final. Hopefully omo betima je enti so omo je a PSG for a new history on its own e de omo boboku no. Se ukọ Inter Milan so a 15 good years nye yenya any Italian club are all left to the ultimate in Europe. The last time the same Inter Milan I was Santiago Bernabeu against Bayern. Inter for a trial recently omo final against Manchester City and omulusu ye. And it is also to me winia. That's the reason why your story yenya AC Milan penya or support to Inter because Inter for to me dia yenya Italian club after 15 years obabeji the ultimate the UEFA Champions League. And obiabo Inter Milan for abasu this season say bono ma bono oma so ani Inter Milan for ntimi anwini aken onim se league wa ntimi anje Coppa Italia wa ntimi anje Super Coppa Italia wa ntimi anje enti say UEFA Champions League ne sabo Inter Milan bo bokuo na it means say Inter Milan season ni nyina no abra omo breye ene ball mabo ni nyina no omo ntimi nya trophy bia enti trophy omo ya ben ho kese pa no eye UEFA Champions League enti any game no ye benya two clubs a wa be wini bia no history na obe make ene no ebeko a long way ansa no obi abepepa na yenwura game ni two coaches eye me de initially you can say wo de ohun game changers ni say you two coaches no Luis Enrique, Simone Inzaghi. These are two coaches are omunimde omuti football ase omuwa proper principles omuwa proper philosophy a omudi ewu omuti mu enti two coaches no omoba ni nyina no eye coaches a obia woni unique style or they ba on the field of play se ufa papa e friend say Luis Enrique a obefa PSG bobokuo no wasesa nyoma bebre enkofo no mu ni gidie wo PSG team we mu by say Luis Enrique asesa nyoma enken papa ne befa PSG bobokuo no okra 7 key elements and odi abewura PSG team nim anu asesa PSG Luis Enrique no 7 key elements and odi asesa PSG bobokuo no the first element a possession wama PSG for ne ebobo a efe enti uko Europa yes this season teams are omobobo a efe no Barcelona bobi PSG ebobi enti the first element a Luis Enrique dia beche PSG bobokuo nim no a possession. The second element say omo press very well using the pressing trigger enti se watch keep PSG bobokuo na omo press very well and the second element. The third element fluidity and dynamism and odi abewura PSG bobokuo nim. The fourth element attacking channels. The fifth element the wide play. Sixth element positional flexibility. And the seventh element direct movement. When 7 key elements are Luis Enrique edi abewura PSG bobokuo nim. Enti se okwa akosia PSG a before so betima stop your mono e wo se hu sa 7 key elements that say PSG and Luis Enrique use. And now call a papa friend say Simone Inzaghi ono so di o use no ono no ope compactness ope low build up or use constant rotation no use transition because or a defensive oriented coach and the two coaches no obia woni unique star baako pebo a FM control game baako pese o defend o containing opponent or retaining compactness na we use transition e dey B2 and to obia na obehwe game ni bi wa beba P2 land no ken a two different style ye be witness a reactive approach and a proactive approach and a born the be no ye be witness a reactive approach versus a proactive approach ye benya PSG a obenya control obenya possession olusu ba obe press obe try so bobo a efe and ye proactive approach a PSG be use and ye benya Inter Milan obe use reactive approach obe try so be defend it obe adjust any tactics no wa punish PSG for no at the time on be mistake and a reactive approach any game and ye be witness so a proactive versus reactive approach and ye be witness now obi o hwe me bia no me be bo game no wa ha say and sample kra na nwumre ya witness the main game ken PSG on paper Luis Enrique be use a standard formation 4-3-3 and only a standard formation on paper. Nemum enam se omu benya more control. Enam se omu dominate play no. Se omu attack ya, omu use fullback, ebedane 3 back. Mostly, ye benya Marquinhos, Pacho, and Nuno Mendes. And omu attack ya ombe form the back 3. Now Brandt your friend say Vitinha. I will operate as a deep lying playmaker. And Vitinha ebe jina defensive line enim. No, and the obe control the fluidity of the game. Ono na be directed play. Ono na ebe make sure say obey the tempo setter. Enti player PSG for no oje ba obe directed ball no yenko left, yenko right. Yen use diagonal rounds, yen use horizontal no. Ebe ya Brandt your friend say Vitinha. Enti ono na be operate as the deep lying playmaker. The fluidity of the game ni nyina no ebe gina Brandt your friend say eye Vitinha so. Na Hakimi Ashraf na obo as a right back no. E movie or mostly or invert it. Se o invert ya oba be come midfielders ne ho. So PSG for anytime you mba attack biano in the midfield ubenya Vitinha. Ubenya Abrante friend say Joao Neves. Ubenya Fabian Ruiz. No aba benya Abrante friend say Hakimi Ashraf. Or more per numbers in the midfield because or per central control or per central numerical advantage. So PSG for anytime you abeshi omu biano enam say omo pese omu kura ball ne che. Enam say omo pass ball ne mo no. E wo say otiminya sa central control. And every football club or believe in possession football biano or per central control. And the first thing you get from PSG under Luis Enrique is central control. Ni players me and so mu de nim ho most likely so mbesha ase ene no Kvaratskhelia, Dembele and Adoué. A strikerless system. PSG a typical number 9 bench. Gonzalo Ramos by Onyusu Oyusu strikerless system enti front three ni nyina no obi eniwa obetimi ama osa boss presence obetimi operate as a typical number 9 at the Cruntia Luis Enrique eye saade ne say ope fluidity and interpositional change Dembele engina baby faako Kvaratskhelia engina baby faako Doué engina baby faako enti se ukohia PSG boboko na uye opponent team a untimi nyaman mark Dembele ebe drop ya deep obe moving to channels obe call left obe call right Doué the same thing Kvaratskhelia the same thing so the moment abe try say obe man mark you no o short with defensive line no o ma defensive line stretch and ebe ye off so anytime bi aba ko share PSG attack ni bia no omutimi easily omutimi extend the pressure so o check PSG a omo attack better omo attack a omo hu ehu eto de bi mpokra na coach e friend say Luis Enrique sesa ne nsa no otimi ma Hakimi Ashraf and Nuno Mendes act as the shell forward in a sense say sa two players no me right back left back no omo na ball occupy the wide area na ama branch friend say Fabian Ruiz and Joao Neves etimi operate as the half space invaders and sa two players ne be act as box to box na oma koka Dembele Kvaratskhelia and Doué hu anase Bakola ne be shasia so ukochia PSG again almost strength is about attacking holding the ball controlling the game PSG attack better enti ade ba ko say Inter Milan for you very careful and then you here how on betima contain PSG for attack because over PSG again 9% of omu goals o match no eba inside the 6-yard box omu ye team ba ko a every area every angle omu timi gina shego so say o check omu short zones na 9% of omu goals no eba e wo the 6-yard box nim baby a opponent ni goalkeeper ni gina no then 61% eba the 18-yard box nim and the majority of omu goals no around the 18-yard box and 31% outside the penalty box and to ukosia PSG inside goalkeepers in the penalty area goalkeeper in the box no omu shego 18-yard box omu shego outside the box omu shego a team every angle every channel every zone omu timi gina shego omu strength is about scoring and to prove further UEFA Champions League na yebo no teams omu boy ni nyina no the wenya most attempt to score PSG ye share Champions League na se besi ne the wetimi most attempt to score 300 attempts PSG bobuku no the wenya most attempt on target PSG 111 so we Barcelona free wa Barca share 43 goals the next team awa share goal 33 team a friend say PSG so PSG strength is about holding the ball creating scoring the entire season we about 57 games we share 147 goals omunim goal share omunim create omunim attack
so Bastoni ne achebe mo Pavard mo ene ewechiro Kwame no be for so betimi handle some players na many me say coach ne be ball Dimakodia but a final o ma Dimakona ball this a year back for obedo no ma handle some boys no
medasi ken se ukoshia PSG because of attacking dynamism and fluidity untimi nkoye mamma te said na wo ye Barcelona de ye no ye use coaches beka sure say ukoshia PSG bobuko na because say easily omutimi extend the pressure no ye use positional oriented zonal marking no as a training na ye say the reference point ye say time bia no u position and spaces ye make sure say ye jaho u focus any reference point any player no kra ball no because u focus ekoye Dembele u focus ekoye Doué u focus ekoye Kvaratskhelia onjina baby fa ko say ube eliminating out of the game and you focus no the position oriented zonal marking and to make sure say the position oriented zonal marking be adwuma no e was the team defensive shape intact ukosia PSG check teams o metimi ache PSG teams o mama PSG tough time teams are omo defensive shape no enlusu
yeah we PSG attack and but maybe Marquinhos and Pacho Hakimi and Nuno Mendes almost four and said you defend better why Marquinhos then Nuno Mendes Pacho Ayakakra Hakimi Ayakakra again Lautaro Martinez ne Thuram Ayedenya Bakubenya go those two players no almost say chances be PSG yeah come attack they almost ball no but back no why
Yes.
Because almost concede goals.
PSG, unse you team bebre ne kwa mofa so defend. Se ukoshia Inter Milan. Ombe na adwen se obe press o opponent ne half. Or try say obe draw the players e won one kasa have to prevent you from exploiting spaces. But in the case of PSG, so omu defend ya, say omu defensive shape ebeye Inter how ombe react to omu pressing. Luis Enrique a student of Johan Cruyff. And omu student of Johan Cruyff ni nyina omu defend ya, omu try say ombe city deep, omu try say ombe use omu front line to press you first. So say ene PSG for defensive shape ebeye Inter how ombe press. Because PSG no on now say oba be go achiri. On many players ni be go achiri bebre. And adia ba kwa meni agi PSG team no wa kwa mfa so defend no. Typical example omu game against Liverpool. At the time we had the pressure by no. Check how on the front line no ebe cover the defensive line. On sani ye ka Nuno Mendes etimi Ed Mohamed Salah se ni bottom. By nkofo en credit Kvaratskhelia how or drop it ebe man Nuno Mendes defensive cover. Now earlier on our submission now we say Hakimi Ashraf e join attack and honi weak. Se PSG for ebitima sustain Hakimi Ashraf the other man defensive cover e key.
Mr. Monje internet na my Monje internet na Monje bia o MC how my okay. Kwame Twasum. So
how are on the defensive line defensive cover e key because obeti say Marquinhos or a very good defender by okwa to say oyobia e wo ma na we lose focus kakra. Pacho a very good at all performing this season. Bonyan grow to that top level. Hakimi Ashraf offensively excellent, by defensively or tie edge spaces. Nediana quiet to say Arnold Mola nibi. Nuno Mendes na beka say Ojinawa obetima marquee player out of the game. And the PSG for backline in and any backline na beka some outside defensive solidity.
So big man like here Thuram, ya ball long one because he do baby PSG press and a sombre press on press more say Inter long.
Yeah.
And Inter long I don't be located here. Thuram. Na ye Lautaro fa ho. Me we Pacho and Marquinhos.
Coach in be use baako. Set time be Inter for be use long balls no. And what say omo cover.
Omo bi no why na esoko.
O meko for maybe Marquinhos because Marquinhos
omo tuning na obi na obetime
Thuram in terms of physicality. But now Marquinhos experience no it watch in big games mostly or use Marquinhos to do that. Say player a opponent na will play or be to my ball longer. Or money Liverpool first leg, you know. The same thing another Liverpool for a year. Or you see the same approach. Time amuko share Liverpool France no Paris no. On send Liverpool for decide say ombeko long. Now or you see Marquinhos say obeko fan stadium. So you most likely say Inter Milan for long to locate Thuram. Not Thuram apeke the first ball. Not then Abrante friend say Lautaro Martinez apeke the second ball. Be yusu Abrante friend say Marquinhos say obe cover Thuram. But in terms of physicality, such striker and as a full line player, and you soon the upper body strength in the very war no. Say Thuram yes adie no. Watch your game against Barcelona. No mu yusu Thuram say obe yes adie no. And mostly na Inigo Martinez na cover. And a chim program ko ye bi enti say omu go ni program say no. Omu yusu the same approach long ball and omu fleky ball no. And some poker na mistake neighbor Ragu man say. So PSG for no and Inter for be use the same approach because Inter for no try some be kura ball no. But there ba kwa Inter Milan for susu hu pa no e your transitions. E ya na ye ka omo attack bebre by omo break attack bia na omo nyina so nchew.
Omo create chance.
Omo create chance. Anytime bia bon see Inter a break attack no or Dimarco on the left wing and on what Denzel on the right wing. Say Denzel on so confidence now wa picking was ro. What picky confidence be and I say in terms of creativity and ye influencing game no this season at our knockout stage in Pokran or ye beating the Marco
down first
no
I think so Inter best player this
season will perform very well in big games or dominating
on no Mendes ebeyire nepa
but I want say advantage kakra emma the abema PSG for a fullbacks no mumbre bebre ni say Inter use natural wingers natural wingers but Ken on paper, may ye fair as an analyst. PSG was slight advantage. PSG was slight advantage.
Okay.
The last time Bayern Stadium ni hosti UEFA Champions League final, yenya a new winner in the shape of Chelsea.
Yes, hosti BM.
Yes, hosti BM. History be repeated.
New winner BM.
History be by deep inside me. Say me nkasa as an analyst too. Say me ye fair as an analyst on paper who analyze here PhD for no. That slight advantage no. By deep inside me pese Simone Inzaghi just a trophy we mama. But there can here pa Champions League final. Coach is ne tactics be adwuma. Moments deciders.
Edu key. Ye be hwe ene anadwe. Yemfa eno ensio. Ayasemo okay. Chairman Ike. I am minor, our man can so and the Chairman Cobrone, Omugina, Yanchi Omone. Na Adolson.
Ken,
we didn't city for any massive. And so, Ubia, Wooting beer, we didn't watch him. Chelsea Quaje Conference League, Omocrad, watching. Comocra Menha. Now, no matter say United for so can be. Omocho margin with Champions League. United, oh, United fan, I will be to match a wide you for Champions League.
Bobby Ached, yeah.
Once I can say, which make a be one.
Jawben, then Omo should be. Then show moon crying.
Okay.
I didn't see two Kobubiana. Oga say United should be.
No, heavy.
That's also heavy.
Dancing.
China kind say Manchester for should be. As a city for Nekobo.
He said it.
Born a party and KJ years I come with almost your teams in the bomb KJ years I come with
He beat to say,
oh, United for count. United for count, say. We United fan and boy cried and we didn't found.
And they send gas now for the main TV crowd.
I guess Asra for so TV.
We don't many questions so for TV crowd. But came with that say, my double to me crowd nature say, Nyamia do me say Jim. Ewo boase
almost as your boss
enti
okay
nyame adomo a ewie ewo dunkwa no fin
ma say awo si so siesie no ho ne yenu na mo dunkwa na yi nyina
fantastic
okay mo hweda double ba ho na mo hweda double ma yi
enti ese mo dunkwa fo no mo ntwan ye ba sisi a
padaroma
ke me da se Mr. Chame 1 minute no 2 minutes bi na me ndi komo bi ansama ba Champions League no Mbappe on J player of the year.
Fans.
Me pese me kan asem dia esi asem so say. Me hu trendy bi. Na enra na me check player of the year vote trend no. So there's a screenshot before and ye ba be close. Nipa to abani ye 353,024 votes. If I say little over 353,000 and a tuaba. But so check here give the mame. Mbappe owini ye no onya 46.9% of the vote
on the fans
of the fans.
Can't want him to see.
Lamine enya 36.4. This is a screenshot rightly before ye ba be close. Shadie Lamine Yamal enya 36 no. Share Hafinya unya 5%, 5.5%. Lewandowski 0.4. Ne bemwa na wasan so aba be share Pedri 8.1. Inti Lamine could not win because Barcelona vote it was spread across. Na nkomo a me kan die esi su dia say
nti omoso koto aba na say Pedri ade chen Rafinha. I said you nipa kura bato kura sem kura.
No, but on say some catch us say Rafinha ne die Barcelona for no move you. I'm telling you. But me person me can say last year one of the thing that
so they can and no fans we are fans no main one no so no about one koso
fans some the main one no on being cooperative coaches ni player voting here there but the amount this is very important. So last year Vinicius could not win the Ballon d'Or because na Madrid projected place miensa me can the Sudia say this paints a picture say Barcelona should be very careful. Because
Ballon d'Or best
spread of votes in the how because clearly Michel voting parts in the Madrid voted solely for Kylian Mbappe. We can kind of the Vinicius Junior will do 1% impo. Jude Bellingham will do 1% impo. But I'll check it. Lamine Yamal onya 36.7 now. Rafinha onya 5.5. Pedri 8. So what chess our votes in him even 50% at the top. Lamine Sodiana, he's good to go. Make it keke.
Okay.
It's something that they should be very careful about it. Ken, if there is a team I was say you show sympathy to them a PAG for. I know say Inter Milan do not spend that much. Omunye club a 30 sika kese kofa player. Exempt Lukaku deal no mo ye no. Almost the free unknown player and omodi abo Champions League. This is the second Champions League finals in 2 years. Inti se impa who says okay, let's sympathize with them and say let's Inter Milan win the Champions League. But France PAG on my bre. Inti min koba say ya bought Champions League from 1956. Spanish teams aje Champions League maku 20. English teams aje 15 times. Italian teams aje 12 times. German teams aje 8 times. Netherlands aje 6. Portugal impo aje 4. France. Share mine France and then the kind of football players they have produced and the teams they have produced. No matter one pay, I embarrass. So France as a nation, yeah, European top 5 leagues. I had one can whoa. Now at the Champions League 1, it goes beyond embarrassment. It is not as if they don't buy players. Sa Paris Saint-Germain team way at some point in time, enya Neymar, nya Messi, nya Kylian Mbappe. Show me 3 players are away anymore, na a wedding. Even Madrid BBC money at the end no. Ken, you bet me the Atoto, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. So it is not as if they don't buy players, they have players. Yet they are unable to give out numbers. It is a petit member sympathizing with them. I can make us a PhD because of my bread. Look, Afi, a deliberate to say France as a nation, a pushy PhD to win it.
Only must say.
Some who say myself for no more stubborn. Na canton papa penyi mutimi enra akwahye Inter Milan Jesse then na mo omonti ase. But ade no egu France animu ase o. Some of the Champions League back. France needs to win the Champions League again. And you must.
Say 15 years in Italy.
Now, we're so 32 years.
Italy is a big country. But because you do baby, Omodia, Tamana is similar dominant.
Now, Italy Ajema Kumako 12. Now, France Ajibako.
Italy Aj 12, England Aj saying 15.
15, and Spain Aj 20.
Even recently, England for crowd beside
Italy. Aye. It came a point in the say no. The last
Spain 20, no. Madrid 15, Barca 5.
Emphasis on that.
15-5.
But me, what interests me is say the last time at France, AGB, born Olympia Stadium, Munchen.
Okay.
Germany.
Abedi Pelemo.
Basebo Legono. And the France AG today, we are playing it.
The same stadium.
The same. Make us a stadium crowd. The same town.
The same town. Okay. So on my alliance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think say, and no Eshem crying. Say Bibi Timi see Eddie Ama Paris Saint-Germain.
And I Kwame so edit to just say the last time I Bobby was our stadium, no. You're new winner.
Aye.
Oh, Munich.
Normally
Chelsea.
Exactly. Normally Munich am I a new winners.
Okay.
And P Munich am I a new winners. But let me tell you something. Say, Ada Yako ball Champions League final El Kiev 2018. Real Madrid they share Liverpool 3-1. You bought 6 Champions League games. 6 no. Marco 4 ended in 1-0. 1-0. 1-0. Nyenu 2-0.
The last 6 Champions League finals.
Aye. 1-0 Marco 4 and a 2-0 Marco a 2-pay. The time for each now say ayana a very very close games. Because the last 6 are yabono. So obi your best first goal no on edge. Remember what I say? Because I 1-0, 1-0, 2-0. Into your best first goal no on na edge Champions League no. Because in the finals a game wa obi abem give chances to be asa. Look, even 2-0 now it's it twice no. Look, for instance, and I know I call Madrid in the Dortmund no. Madrid games goes there by time bay. About late in the game. Liverpool Esha Tottenham. Divock Origi go never time by about around 87th minutes. Into even 2-0 no crano. The last goal comes very, very late. Into just say these are tight games, sir. So one more opponents Esha 1 as somewhat two.
Your first goal Biaji.
At least the last 6 games. Nti yeah, ma crying for chances. Afi, let's go into the game in details. Na yebon komoken. No kwase me home ni say. PSG for no, they play good football. But they have a problem. That is why it looks like a Donnarumma and the PSG team nenam. Metasha PSG games, I get excited how they transit. Omoje ball, no the ball ne ekwa efe. Utimu say passes no ekọ. PSG team wa Hakimi has and Nuno Mendes fullbacks no operate very well. But the problem is say anytime PSG enjoy possession, concede chances pa. Exactly because they have a right back who feels to say, as a Sonia numbers, even more than the number 9. Hakimi.
But coach in the chance.
But it is too much. See, Marquinhos has been ordinary in the last 2 years because time will be he is overworking.
Hakimi.
There be assassin a Jumana say, Hakimi, Timi Kwano, a question number 9. It's yet so much here. Marquinhos is supposed to operate as a number 2 and also operate as a number 5.
Ever side defensive for year can once me ya. One player be a dream man. Sa Fabian Ruiz no. Oh yeah, Juma pa. Coach ni yeah Juma pa.
Oh yeah, Juma. Say no. I've told you say PSG for no more shots in Yemeni bebre. Into Fabian Ruiz in defensively are very strong and or sound so. Into at least it helps. It's normally PSG for night to say Esansa Hakimi defensively on Shadanya de Bebrebe Sano and until no more a transitioner and as some build up or more build it up in a 3-2 Nuno Mendes no crano or come Marquinhos ni William Pacho Wono. Nuno Mendes is also one guy who always loves to go forward. It's a yes. In the attacking phase, Hakimi provided 8 goal involvement. I understand. Nuno Mendes 5 goal involvement. It's when they are attacking, they are excellent. But Ken, Shadia, and no more monitor game. No, after 60 minutes, Nafe Hakimi started to say, "Oh bra." Nafe PSG started conceding chances left, right, center. Sub zone move on and a Donnarumma account for pa. But my point is that
about say Inter left, you know. Inter left side, and what do you know?
Inter left, Dimarco. Oh, Dimarco no Ken. Say you know him. They are turn
now, but as a in the form 90 said Dumfries. Inter right, I'm right on how they were more.
Bebre.
HN left you.
Last 2 years. I'm Manchester City bono. Now left one they chain Dumfries.
Dumfries, oh yeah.
But Dimarco no, we all know why because injuries and a hard boy no. And Agosto no so but all the Dimarco factor. But Ken, let me tell you something. This year, Champions League, Inter Milan for fullbacks, Obieni wa wire crosses ashe go chain omu 10. Afi. Team Obieni one fullback and more crosses a chain Inter Milan for no. In any case, in the semi-finals against Barcelona, 6 goals are Inter Milan share. 5 of them na fullbacks near involved. Inter Milan fullbacks normally dangerous. Very, very dangerous. These are 2 teams are almost drives, where they are a fullback, where so they are a fullback. So a big game of fullbacks. Because Hakimi, his strength is not to defend, he will go forward. DiMarco will also love to attack.
Yanjou Fabian Rose Vitina and João Neves Ewan Finfino against Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Henry Mkhitaryan and Nicolo Barella.
Mkhitaryan is about 36 if I'm right. When you Çalhanoğlu a little 30. Ken
Çalhanoğlu bro 30 na.
Little. Onyi bebre. Mkhitaryan is senior man. That's an say. Se game ni ye transitional bebre a. E PhD for na be safa. Busa for make transitional bebre a che say. Born we ji born no we the born e kwhye. No we so age, na we so the born e kwhye. Sa type of play no. Obi anim ye na emom de be boa ne pa ye Inter Milan. Because Inter Milan can be doing transitions still not omo ye in proper shape, omo defensive shape no right. But PSG transitions ba ku mienu a no mo lose shape no. Make dia be answer your question no say. Look, the more PSG controls the game, the better for them. Why not the control neighbor? The control comes from Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz.
But interface team with that similar style, that is Barcelona. So be control ball, no ball, be do who be pray. But still, I'm gonna find a way to create chances.
Barcelona,
there be make up Inter. Almost face team I just say PSG. Me and for Barcelona similar because PSG be person be control game no. On the Barca control game ni be brave. But still no munya chances.
Why munya chances?
Inter.
Okay, my talk.
On no ball, on our control game no. But still no munya chances. On benya chances and mobile ni be brave. But still no mu create chances.
So in the Barcelona example you
so
give.
So omo possess ya. About the PSG possess ya. I just say with Inter, we Inter fan we see.
No, but Ken.
So
the point is that team will be our strengths. There are teams on the ball, Boni Kutanwa, and one thing. There are teams off the ball, so Boni Kutanwa, and strengths. And see, it is not every time in a ball Kutobia. Not Nipakrono, HSA, he's doing well. Let me give you an example. If you are playing against teams like Barcelona, Manchester City, on the ball, off the ball, and you're more strength. Now, Inter Milan now one day you're off the ball. It is Inter Milan and Barcelona. Barcelona possess ball ni bebria. It does not mean Barcelona are more joining the game and also more controlling game. No, Inter are rather controlling Barcelona. Let me come back to your question. Inter Milan say who possess ball no, only dangerous because if you lose a ball. Oh, pass it. No one passing in anybody be the Inter Milan wa. They have the strength to do transition. And normally, Marcus Thuram, Ejidem Eba, Oba, or flecky ball na second ball no be call Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez efa baller, it goes straight to DiMarco or Denzel Dumfries. It's against Barcelona. They allowed Barcelona to do the possession. But who possesses Bebreba? Remember, say, Afe, Akoka 2 center backs, and probably 1 defensive midfielder. I am Yensa.
Okay.
But their transition, they will have 4 players in their transition. DiMarco, Dumfries, na Lautaro Martinez, and Thuram. Inter Milan, Pano. Instead of making say, Ken. Idea bebo PSG ni say don't allow Inter Milan to score first goal because so many first goal they are deadly.
But almost first Barca
Ken Inter Milan before the Barcelona game no ma consider one goal from open play. Barcelona conversation is different. No, the whole of Europe, obetime breaking defense easily. Change Barcelona attackers. And for Barcelona conversation don't change. And me would defense how Barcelona into me breaking. But one other issue, set pieces. Inter Milan, are dangerous. Miss Rodima PGO,
Achebi.
Achebi Bastoni.
Achebi pa de sa Achebi boy just say we just o ma center line so crowd.
Senior there be say na on say onimrika tu. And now Oshen kwada animu. And there yan be say bia na wa mo.
Also person ma poverty.
No.
Poverty so feel of injury ba.
Men pesa.
That's your friend is your meeting come see here. Ba Biggy. Na enema just say boss.
Ya me adum bibia e fine.
You know come what do you bet me akabe? Manchester United fan now catch Champions League say.
Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain and Inter Milan. Seriously speaking, so where these two teams are at the start of the Champions League. Team back will be catch also betimi aba be do final and ka won need that Paris Saint-Germain. Because group stages in enye. In the group stages they only won 4 games out of 8. Omulusu makoma 3 and omu draw 1 against PSV. This was a team and a lot of people are writing off. Even group stages in the crampono, those wins omunyaye, I buamo omunya qualification and they be played the knockout phase. It was the game sana meka say baba be the group stages. The game against Manchester City. The game against Stuttgart were away. And a more confidence no leading as our qualification no. 80 from there. So the Champions League national has said the near see kwa. Obeka say Paris Saint-Germain team way there. A very difficult on back the Liverpool head because at the group stages, team are not yet best. Group stages team was Liverpool. Yemudo Duana. One of the teams and I had to play almost on between Ababe PM finals. Liverpool. But Paris Saint-Germain share no. And near Massai. Luis Enrique team nana all building no. Team Nation say a picky at the right time. On the other hand, Inter Milan on any Baba Beshiano. Right from the start of the Champions League, group stages Inter Milan might include this season they are in for something big. In a sense that group stages, Open team and who consider fewer goals and Inter Milan Bobo. Defensively they were solid. On show baby, but so the boss be good in that team a problem. It's a few on banana. Ni probably who say Inter Milan this season. A bad thing the amount team someone who share Champions League anymore. And a movie from Honum. A by Tima. Or an agent or Baba pre treble this particular season. Just a month ago. No more have vision in any no. Say a possible so move to me a treble no. But as we speak, Sadia next year, I'm an Inter Milan Bobo Kono. They only have 1 trophy on Betty Miaje. Coppa Italia na ye. Syria na ye. Now the focus is on the Champions League. And hold them 100% attention. And no diaba. Paris Saint-Germain on the other hand, then so. Almost shall say with the aim of winning a treble this particular season. Ken, it is still on hold.
Okay.
PSG team is still capable of winning the treble. And I don't motivate you so much to the extent say there is no team in France that won the continental treble da.
Okay.
Obiani France awaye bi da. So obaje French Cup. Obaje French League. No obaje Champions League. There be. And see that. It's a very big motivation the Paris Saint-Germain. So mo betimi yes normally at least the first team. Oh betimi yes no France.
Big answer my team ana ade ba kwen so obi anhwe. One mistake is a game na. Red card. Yapon. Because what be the red card be Yapon.
A change game no.
Best say BBB won team na opponent in the moment.
Sure.
Asa na enwe.
And only yeah.
Because young fan say you are ball within 25 minutes. Record ba game na hu here bi.
E best some bibia.
Na game na hu here.
And only on few occasions. And at stages like this red card beba.
And referees na omo ye ayikakra on players no. Dem bia na omo caution omo catch omo nyabotre.
Sure.
Because omo person omo be ma cast in them.
And e bi wo hono ma cards in the bantem sa na say game no. E ma game na nyefe. Player bi won mo di yellow card. Tackle we want me what's our play and be caution.
Say in world football, players are more defending and also more call for tackles. Midfielders and defenders and so what show more. Ucha baako na ucha okese pa. Na waka che referee say fe na wadi buga baako. Worry. ana wonhwe ono atimi ka kire referee say eh one pen wako
referee to maka do to be kire say why you see oye ba ko ha and what about baby
so referees in the makwan ma players yes sir say unye 2 and 3 a ye ma card
ken and I make say e bi wo hono me ba bibia e say game na ma game na nyefe
okay
because player bi wono maybe attack obi anko be ko because of card inti obesuo so obe call for that tackle it changes the beauty of the game but Paris Saint-Germain team ne kito omo this season no ken omo bo possessive football and attacking football and teams omo bo sa football no omo no drop a defensive style and clearly this particular season was Champions League ni mu o pe team o team defending ye pa untimi monyi Inter Milan and film they've been the best defensively solidity e wa chi wono pa e Inter Milan bo boko no omo was our quality ni wo hono betimi dia face any team omo ne Barcelona game ni a typical example it tells you how they play against him omo possessive football omo shares now this particular season omo bo Bayern Munich this season it's omo a lot of idea and clue about teams omo bo sa football na e similar to the Paris Saint-Germain e bo no
so now omo face Arsenal team on both set pieces on ball no do ni na osro almost another team on possessive ball no bebre
yes
that is Barcelona
yes
so yeah ko say Simone Inzaghi team no the other bebe bia no omo we a team there
sure and anything make us say omo nya experience from teams omo boss similar football to say Paris Saint-Germain
but don't know so omo medal no players na nyinyi omo say PSG for no yam kra e ba America omo run bebre e chen e Interfor no o cha no golo ne ye ori ono kra ni so ori achebe mo o share cha no golo mo share Henry Mkhitaryan mo himphobia we down phrase ne Bastoni nkura wo team no ye wan say so much ye panyin
yes yan so manyin
nti we Bastoni ne ayi free ma asem panyin fo nko ana
Turam ye young Pavard Yambisek
yeah
yes these are young players but Inter Milan team no hear a lot of runs there be omo mfanya hwe
omo to America
there be because no akasa game na obam no obe concede possession obe jama wo abobo no eti wo ya runs no ono no be decide to be defend o defend ya no wa call for the counter breaks no their penalty results against Barcelona we saw that but the difference between the Paris Saint-Germain team and the Barcelona team and say against Barcelona player no about the left back position and the Barcelona team no Gerard Martin Gerard Martin performance this season hasn't been the best but so what will be to say Nuno Mendes from Champions League no especially the knockout phase when they met Liverpool key player be a opponent team be no he makes sure so best stop us player if you on the flanks a problem when you are meeting him Shekwa odi Mohamed Salah faso Shekwa odi Bukayo Saka faso it is a player no your key figure no the flanks hono ma na we share Nuno Mendes a problem baby Paris Inter Milan team no ebetimi anya their way e wa chire honom is going to be the right back position Ashraf Hakimi be a lot of runs forward or joining attack na how to recover the bia na a problem the man but then again sa position na hwan na da honom e Dimarco and a better sa position no Dimarco in the Champions League this season offensively any effective to set Dumfries numbers no was so Dimarco ni go Champions League nim or assist back up it in as much as sa position ni betimi aye free no more you see one no player no be say adwuma no say Dumfries dey have a problem but Dimarco this season in the Champions League the numbers ni suru bebre it no so a disadvantage e the man Inter Milan bo boko no
on goalkeepers no
for the goalkeepers there yenimiyan so madada goalkeeper me feel say was surprised me this season our Champions League from knockout phase neighbor has been Donnarumma. He's one person I are criticizing hugely.
But Donnarumma do waji Euros there.
Sure.
At this stage we do stage we there.
Sure.
What the Italy waji Euros.
Sure.
And also for Champions League final.
Yes.
So between the two, me we send a Peter check. Cause a penalty shootout. Ohuni said Donnarumma. Ebe Donnarumma enye soma. And games like game where them just say penalties be
Ken ebe timiasi. Ebe timiasi.
And he say Intel dia and ebetimi esi because
PSG dia esi
David say PSG first go we go into team no
there are things omo mienu nyina wo bi Champions League no so obi ba begia nipa na get close to the trophy no afrim or get close to the trophy no afrim Now if you are Banu trophy no. It will be the Chelsea example 2008 on Manchester United.
Okay.
2012 Okoshia Bayern Munich. No akwa just a trophy the free Bayern Munich in them because I feel no gaining the final experience.
PSG nyabi.
PSG nyabi. Inter so nyabi.
Inter be catch us almost na no final.
I know na make no. Say that is one thing omumienu nyina obi.
When it is ever pa. Say ka say Kukuru Champions League no kwahye ba konsem. Woni say we die yemfa nkoma no wabre.
Die wabre die nka ye die onyi bi da.
PSG.
And grounds now game in the koso no. Kwame aka. The last time I ball e wa Allianz Arena Chelsea na G na Chelsea nji da. Champions League no. The City Munich I host the finals mako 4 ken. 4 times now the City Munich I host the Champions League finals no. E ye teams so nji bi da. And eje. Teams so nji bi da. Say e koso wo Munich teams omun GB na aje 4 times and Munich City na host the Champions League nyina
Nti ato ma PSG
ya ye bibi sa because there are teams omo ye finalists no omun GB da omo kokoje e wo Munich 4 finals ni nyina Nottingham Forest koje Marseille ye kan ho ase mo kokoje ho honom Dortmund aji wo Munich as the first time in 1997 and a Chelsea kokoje in 2012 e wo Munich
first timers ni nyina
first timers Munich City na host Champions League finals 4 ni nyina omo nji bi da na aje
Biggy na me scan mfa nkoto so
Ken boys nya gidie
boys nya gidie
edin and a goals nso bebam yes I expect a lot of goals possibly over 2.5 there
but before Barca game na Inter consider just one.
Yes.
In 2 legs, no consider saying Barca share 3 goals.
Barca share 3 million.
And almost share Nina 3-3.
Yes.
Until Barca share 6.
Yes.
And it's here Inter. PSG into me share 3 in Inter.
Possible.
Because a one off game they're betting.
But possible. I see Paris Saint-Germain winning it.
Omo decisions some be share yellow. Omo decisions some be share yellow jersey instead of some bit match some main jersey no. Omo go for Derby, almost share first just on share yellow no. Na Barella ka say oh omo an decide say lack be near but in phone is superstition.
Ken football no enema be brain kom. It entails a lot. And the reason I want obi an di ogidi. Na nse ya Black Stars kokko share jersey yellow no. Ayi nya wins no. Ya ten sema na nkofo kan okrum ha. Say jersey ne ye kama lack woman represent Ghana and a whole lot. But ya share Jesse White e dey qualify your first World Cup and I ntimi am for Jesse yellow and qualify but ye be share yellow no ye tin sem an ankrofo ka enti Jesse no yes e Jesse keke but bisa won say dey na be ba omo be do finals no be decide so be share sa Jesse no bibia koso wo ba bi nkomo bia koso wo akiri eno he baila o kasa asem ni nyina na o sere
fan reaction to so mama
yes
o di sankomo no
ai o kasa nyina na o sere eti clearly on to be my mechanic say e ade we nti ene e decide say e be share Jesse no but there's a reason to that
obi so mom so mo ne find out almost say fine mo keka be brave but
the fire no wonya gidie bi wom say o finals ne de o sha e be fa enti clearly bibi ta chiri nti no mo take that particular decision but ye de e baba be football
question is surprise no
eno osere no
okay me that say yefa eno ensio eno aye Biggy overseer or ha because me comedy so because kid bet for ha mama ni omo ndi nkomo omoda roma and omo the loss in television yakabo ma yekokuma say city more na ye the P2 launch enso e yakobo mo na ne anadwe ye the UEFA Champions League final no enso abremo ewo kid bet in paying for ewo ha makacho say kid bet eho uhia internet na de abete ewo kid bet